5 o'clock in the evening at the moment on the 22nd of January. We're in about a couple hours, we're heading down to Riker's parents for some dinner. His brother-in-law and his baby mama are down from Salt Lake, so they wanted to do a family dinner. Thank goodness there will be alcohol for that, so there's that. There has been a lot going on. So I had Toby, and we were settling in, and kind of we were giving ourselves a period of transitioning from one kid to two, and it actually went very smoothly. Becky is in love with her baby brother. She still is. We've only had like a couple of issues with her since he's been born, and he's 5 months as of a couple of days ago, so there's that. And he's already on solids. He eats rice cereal in the morning, and then he has a flavor of baby food. I think he's on sweet potato at the moment. In the evening. So once I finish making dinner, I feed him before I eat, all of that. And he is loving it. He still has a bottle afterwards, after the rice cereal and the baby food. It's not supposed to be replacing the formula quite yet, so we're still in like the transitioning period of he gets both. He's loving it. We're home for about a month, and then he was a little bit more than a month old, and I ended up getting a second interview for the job that I had applied to while I was pregnant, because they said they wanted me, but that they wanted to wait until after I had the baby and all of that. So I did have a second interview with them, and I did end up getting the job. I do work for them. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I do work from home, which has been so nice. I'm actually at my desk at the moment filming this video. It's the easiest. I have Toby preoccupied in the living room watching a show, eating a bottle. Today is my day off. It's one of my days off. Today's Sunday. I only get Sundays and Tuesdays off, and I spend those days cleaning, because it was a hassle starting work, especially with Toby being so little. He was closer to 3 months, he was closer to 3 months when I started my job. And during my training, we tried to get him as used to being with Riker as much as possible, since while I'm actually working, he won't be able to be with me. Every once in a while, if Riker had to go do something and it was close to a feeding, he'd give Toby to me, and then he would come and get him as soon as he was done. So near the end, he wasn't with me at all, usually, unless we were on a break or I was on lunch. And then my actual schedule when it started, so I work from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So I wake up at 6 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Sunday is the day that I get to sleep in and kind of get to relax. Oh, well, not relax since I clean, but it's like a relaxing day for me since I get to sleep in. It's my only day that I do that. Monday through Saturday, I wake up at 6 a.m. I clean what I can in the morning, And I've recently stopped doing that. I need to get back into the groove of doing that because I had only stopped because the living room was very clean, the kitchen was very clean. I can't make a whole lot of noise in the kitchen in the morning anyway, so the kitchen will have to be a touch-up. I'll have to clean the kitchen on Tuesday, which was my plan anyway. But the kitchen I was pretty much on top of, and laundry I was on top of. So for the last week, I got a book for myself that I have been wanting for a while. So when I'd wake up at 6 or 6:30, I would get a breakfast bar and I would come and sit in the living room and take like a self-care moment, hour. I'd read for an hour and then I would get up and clean if there was anything that I needed to do. I recently went through a whole bunch of stuff, so now my living room is a complete disaster again. I need to figure out where I can put everything. My job does not pay me enough to have a storage unit. So we have no room. The storage closet outside is very, very full, like ridiculously full. And I don't know what to do about it anymore. I have to get some bins because Toby has grown out of a lot of clothes and I have nowhere to put them. So they're sitting, some of them are sitting in a box that I can't put in the storage closet, and that's in the living room. And then I have quite a few other things that are supposed to go into the storage closet that I don't have room for. So we are seeing what our options are. With us not having a car at the moment, Riker has to find a job that's very close by, and we are working on that. No one's kind of gotten back to Riker about that. He does want to do a different job, but it requires him to have a car of his own. There is no carpooling or anything like that. So we are working on it. In other news, my 3-year-old has gotten more sassy. She told me she hated me the other day because we live in an apartment and not a house. So I feel like I'm just failing. Isn't that great? I'm trying not to stress too much about everything besides how I'm going to make rent. I make I make barely enough to cover rent. So I save $500 from each paycheck. I haven't been able to do that this past month, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then the other 500, well, 300 from the other paychecks goes towards bills. This past month, we had my birthday on December 31st, which we went out to a lovely dinner. It was so nice, so sweet. I got flowers for my birthday my husband went to the store while I was working because I needed a few things for dinner, and I didn't want to go after I was off. And he went to the store with my mom and came back with flowers. It was so sweet. We went out to dinner. My mom watched the kids. The next day, New Year's, I ended up getting sick, extremely sick. And I was sick for an entire week. No voice, nothing. So I can't work if I don't have a voice. Like, seriously, I can't. My entire job is based on talking to people on the phone. I'm customer service. They call me and I help them. I can't work if I don't have a voice. My manager, I do have to let my manager know, so he was in the loop the entire time. And then I was gonna go back to work. I had finally gotten my voice back. I was gonna go back to work, and then Toby had his shots. Had shots. So we went to a doctor's appointment for him, and they, I took the entire day off because they, there's a chance that he could have a really high fever and that we'd have to take him in, all of that. So it was like a waiting period, just watching him, making sure he wasn't getting like too hot of a fever. Next morning, around 8 a.m. or around 7 a.m., we took his temperature. It wasn't too bad. And then an hour before I started working, so 10 o'clock, we took his temperature again just to make sure everything was okay. He had an extremely high fever, so I couldn't go into work because we needed someone to take him in and then someone to take care of our 3-year-old because she's a pain and a half to take to the hospital and the ER. So I ended up not working. He's okay now, obviously. And then Riker ended up getting sick the day after. And we didn't want Toby to get sick. And we didn't want Becky to get sick, so I ended up taking that day off as well. I was off for over a week. It was ridiculous. And then I worked for like 3 or 4 days, and Becky decided that she wanted to destroy the living room and kitchen. And she did end up breaking a vase that week, which I had to clean up. She just started acting out that day, and I just was like, I can't go to work if she's acting out, because she could end up hitting Toby. It could cause an entire issue while I'm working. I cannot have screaming and yelling in the background while I'm trying to work. So I took that day off. I made her spend the entire day with me while Riker had Toby. I had Toby for like maybe a little bit, but not very long. Updates. I just took down Toby's bassinet last night. He slept in his crib almost all night. He did end up sleeping the rest of... He woke up at about 6 and just decided it was playtime. And like I said, Sundays are the days that I get to sleep in. And I was already exhausted from feeding him throughout the night. So and Riker was extremely tired still, so we put him in his swing, and he slept for quite a bit longer, at least enough for Riker to get like another hour and a half of sleep. I didn't wake up till 9, so that was nice. Becky spent the night last night at her cousin's. She'll come home with us after dinner, but she's gonna stay there until we're done. He's gotten too big for his swing. This was we were transitioning him out of the swing and planning to take it away anyway. he's too big for the swing now. So, no more swing. I don't know how tomorrow's gonna go. But I guess we'll figure it out. So over the course of a night, we've lost his bassinet, which feels so nice in my room. I can get on my bed normally again and off my bed normally again. Oh, it feels so nice. I like not having the bassinet. We do have a baby monitor. It's crap and I have to buy a new one because it's refurbished and it doesn't work more than half the time. But it works for right now until I can buy a new one with this next paycheck. And Becky's gonna be weirded out because Toby's gonna be sleeping in his crib. Can you hear him? I don't know if you can hear him. He's talking. I've just been super busy. You guys, I get up at 6 a.m. and I try to get stuff done around the apartment that I can't do. Because on the days that I'm off, I want to get, like, the main issues done. I want to get the kitchen cleaned. I want to get my room cleaned because that hasn't been cleaned in, like, 3 months. I need to my room hasn't been cleaned since I cleaned it before Toby was born. Think about that. 5 months. My room has not been cleaned in 5 months. So, Tuesday I'm planning on cleaning the kitchen. Next Sunday, in a week, I am planning on cleaning my room because that needs to seriously be cleaned. And then in the mornings, I literally work on touch-ups. I put things away in the bathroom. I fold clothes in the morning. Like, seriously. I go through, like, yeah. Like, I do all the small stuff that isn't gonna, like, get me in trouble with being too loud. So, and then Sundays and Tuesdays, literally, I'm just like a chicken with its head cut off. I'm trying to deal with Becky. I'm trying to deal with Toby. Riker's trying to help, but neither one of the kids want him because I work and it's my only days off, so they want to spend time with Mom. And I get off at 8:30 p.m. on the days that I work, and I immediately go to making dinner. And then we eat, Toby eats, I read Becky a bedtime story, and she goes to bed. She goes to bed after her bedtime every night lately. And then I spend an hour and a half trying to get Toby down to sleep. I finally get him down just for him to sleep for an hour. He's still going through a sleep regression, so, that's nice. And then I'm up with him all night, and then I just get up at 6 a.m. and do it all over again. It has been a lot. I am so tired and so exhausted. This is actually the first week where we've implemented me sleeping in on Sundays. So we'll see how well that works out. Tomorrow's the start of the work week. I'm exhausted. I go to the store once a month, because nobody's schedule lines up except for once a month. So it's so annoying that I think that's the one thing that I'm struggling with the most about not having a car is the fact that if I run out of something, I run out of it. I can't have somebody take me to the store or anything like that. I literally have to wait until somebody is free on one of my days off to go to the store. It's ridiculous. And Riker wishes we had a car. I mean, one, for that reason, and two, so that while I'm working, he can get the kids out of the apartment for a little bit, and he can get out of the apartment for a little bit. It's just, we're struggling. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm trying to keep it positive that we'll get through it, and we'll get a car. But it's kind of hard when it seems like we are the bottom of the totem pole. It just seems like both sides of the family want to help the parents and kids who are well off and can make their rent and have multiple cars and don't need help, but they would rather help them and not help the family that has 2 kids and no car and can barely make their rent. It's just, I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm trying to stay strong. But I feel like I'm spiraling. I really do. We need a bigger place. We really do. I have almost gotten in trouble with my work for not being in a separate room. Like my work computer and my work stuff being in a separate room. Like I could end up losing my job if we don't find at least a 3-bedroom apartment relatively soon, which is very frustrating with not having a car, because you kind of need to have a car to move. And we have two families who have multiple cars, but they only ever use one. So I don't know why they won't just like sell us one of their cars or let us borrow it for a little bit. And my brother-in-law's girlfriend / baby mama, who we actually like, unlike the ones that are coming down from Salt Lake. She cuts hair. It's always been free for the family. Anybody outside of the family, she does charge. Now, granted, it's at a discounted rate, but she does charge. Now, it's gone from everybody else is free, except for me and Riker. Me and my husband now have to pay $10 per person to get our hair cut. And his mom was very confused when Riker told her, because she's like, I just got my hair cut from her literally the day after you asked her to cut your hair. She didn't have me pay anything. And he goes, what the fuck? He goes, what do you mean? She goes, I got my hair cut for free. She goes, and they're well off. They make their rent. They have enough money for food. Like, they're not struggling. And he goes, so why would she have me and Stephanie pay $10 to get our haircuts when they know for a fact that we're struggling we don't have a car and we barely afford rent. So his mom's trying to get information on all of that. And I desperately need my haircut. I really do. My husband desperately needs his haircut. It is way too long, driving him nuts and driving me nuts. But I don't have $10 to pay her when I have bills and rent. And she's the same person who, her dad is supposed to come look at my car to figure out what's wrong with it. I got advice on my car about what was wrong with it from a mechanic, from a customer I spoke to over the phone call at my work. I helped a customer and we were talking about cars and he goes, oh yeah, I'm a mechanic. What's going on with your car? I explained the entire situation to him and he goes, check to see if your car starts. If it starts, it means the motor's going out. If it doesn't, it means the motor's completely dead and that you just have to buy a new motor. And I'm like, really? Like, you called in because your car is blocked and you need to be able to use it, but you're gonna take the time to talk to me about my car when I didn't even really ask, I didn't ask him about my car. I just was like, oh, that must come in handy. I sometimes wish I was a mechanic because my car is completely broken down right now. And I'm supposed to have family members come look at it to see what's wrong, and nobody's giving me the time of day. And it's been almost a year since it broke down. And he goes, I just left it at that. And I continued helping him, and then he just randomly was like, well, what's going on with your car? Motherfucker gave me advice about my car and how to fix it, but the multiple people that we've asked and the family members can't. It drives me nuts. We get put on the back burner constantly. I'm trying to keep it positive. I really am. And I keep trying to find ways to get us out of this hole, but it just seems like the hole's just getting bigger and bigger. Every option that I try to come up with just gets us worse and worse into the hole. That's where we're at the moment. But we will figure it out eventually. It's kind of where we've been. I've just been working a lot. I really haven't had time to film videos or edit videos, and I edit on the days that I'm off, and I edit early in the morning as well, which is why I was able to get 3 videos out over the past month, which has been nice. But don't be surprised if that kind of falters. For the time being, after this video, I'm going to do for the time being, I will be filming cleaning videos and posting those until we have more updates for you. So as of right now, Toby is 5 months and we are transitioning him to the crib. And I think that's about it. Of course, your guys' advice and all of that are always welcome. Any comments or questions, anything, please, please, please reach out to me. I really love reading your guys' comments. Hi, honey. Someone woke up from their nap. How do you feel now? You're hungry. You might want to wait until we go to your parents. When are they planning? Well, you might want to message your mom then, find out what's going on. Because I don't have that chicken out. Which means we'll have to do chicken sandwiches again tonight. Which weren't bad. Well, I don't know why Becky would be there so late if we weren't going over there for dinner. Anyway. Anything you guys have to say is always appreciated. Again, reach out to me if you have any advice, comments, questions, all of that. I will see you guys in the next one. Be prepared for it to be a cleaning video.